G'day guys, today we're talking plantar fasciitis. First of all, you've got Jace here.
Hello.
Jace has got a little bit of a sore arch from getting into his footy boots lately.
Footy training. So we've been training for sort of since the start of January and that sort of thing. And obviously I've been doing running with sprints and all the stuff that we do here. But yeah, it was my first night back actually wearing footy boots, which are quite a lot harder. Like if I do have to run and runners and that sort of thing, they're a bit wider, a bit softer. But yeah, footy boots have got quite a hard base, so your foot doesn't move as much. It's a bit tighter. So yeah, I just noticed towards the end of the session, I think we did like 7 or 8 Ks worth of running. So yeah, it was quite sore through the foot. So Darcy was thinking about doing a plantar fasciitis video anyway. So we thought we'd show you what we do.
Yeah, so I'll just showcase. So first of all, what is plantar fasciitis, right? What does it present as? Basically, it's pain in the arch of your foot. So Jace, yeah.
Through this area or on the heel there.
Yep. Sometimes it wraps around into here. But sometimes it can be diagnosed wrong, right? We can get it confused with things like tib post pain. It can be confused with flexor pain of the muscles underneath our calf. Sometimes it's just a tight calf or tight arch. I'm also going to showcase to you guys some exercises at the end, how you can release it from home, and just some strategies in preventing it or how to manage it when you do have it. Cool. Let's get you on the table, man, and I'll show you some key concepts, some key spots, how we do treat it here at MMT.
Let's do it.
It's wax. If we knew where it was, there it is.
Yeah,
Jason.
we always put in the worst spots.
Yeah. So
spend half the treatment trying to find it.
Is it your left or right side, man?
Probably. Let's go right.
Let's go the right. All right. So you can see I'm waxing up my knuckles because for my opening stroke, what I like to do is to like pin the foot so I've got full control. And then, because a lot of people are quite sensitive in their foot, right? So if I just came in and went a bit soft, you'll get like a lot of people will sort of kick.
Bit ticklish.
They're ticklish, right? So if I pin that with my knuckle, I'm already working some of these heel spur, like bony landmarks. So I can feel I'm connecting with these calcaneus, and then I'm gonna work down that arch. So the knuckles are really good because they're you can maneuver in and out of little channels and avenues where things become blocked and stuck. But basically what we're trying to do, or what we're trying to achieve here, is just to release some of the tension that's built up in the arch of the foot to begin with. That's our first stroke. And this is also just a good way to start to get an idea of how intense and how tight this is for this person. So for Jace, he's not doing too bad. For somebody that's had plantar fasciitis for quite some time, pain in the arch, worse in the morning, worse after exercise or when during exercise, this will be really quite intense pain and sore for them. So
the feet can be pretty tender normally just because there's so many nerve endings, and obviously you spend a lot of time on your feet, so a lot of people are quite tender in there even if they haven't had treatment. But yeah, particularly those with plantar fasciitis, especially if it's quite chronic, you can be pretty sensitive area, but it does feel so good and so therapeutic to actually get your feet worked. Even if you don't have pain in your feet, I would recommend you just try it. If you're in for a treatment, even if you're getting your lower back worked on, just say, hey, can we do 5 minutes on the feet? It feels so different after you get them released, especially if you're someone that wears tight fitted shoes or like hard leather shoes at like an office job. You won't regret getting your feet done. So definitely look into it.
Yeah, so we're a barefoot clinic, right? And the reason that we're barefoot is to start to expose our feet to different surfaces, to start to strengthen our plantar fascia, to start to strengthen the intrinsic muscles in our feet. And I guess shoes aren't the ideal tool for going through movement, for training in the gym, for walking, for life, for any aspect, basically. We can't avoid them when Jason and I play sport like footy. You can't play footy barefoot, but most of the time we are barefoot or we're wearing barefoot shoes. The rigidity in work shoes and the softness in our running shoes actually creates soft feet. We actually end up with weak feet, and therefore we get things like plantar fasciitis, we get recurring calf injuries or Achilles pain or heel spurs or whatever they might be. So the idea, first of all, for you guys is to get out of shoes. Start exposing yourself to different surfaces like sand, like grass, like dirt, like rocks. Start to strengthen your feet, start to strengthen your arches. I will show you at the end of this the tools that I had
That's hot down there.
early on in the video. So hot meaning there's a nice little block in there. So we focus on that with the thumb. So as we're just starting to get a bit deeper and break the first few layers of the fascia up and hydrate that, we can start to feel what's going on underneath those first few layers. So sometimes we do get misdiagnosis where our tibialis posterior, which is the muscle that's medial to the calf, we get this hot spot right in here as well. And that can sometimes be the insertion point of our tib post. So that's an easier fix than plantar fasciitis because we can actually just work that tendon and start to gouge it and clean it and clear it out, unblock it, start to create some flow in an area that's been stagnant, and your body will thank you. So that's an easier fix than plantar fasciitis. Plantar fasciitis is generally chronic pain and chronic build-up, and it will take some time to fix. It's going to be put back on you guys to actually start to release it yourself with a ball, with a foam roller, with a dowel, walking on some rocks, walking on some sand. But it's also going to be about strengthening your plantar fasciitis because, as we said, the soft shoes is creating soft feet. Soft feet, we end up with all types of problems. So there's that insertion point right into there. So we're working back into that bone and then a nice scoop out. And I'm sure many of you could resonate. If you've had plantar fasciitis, you could resonate with the pain being right in this spot.
Yeah, that's nasty.
This is like our money spot. So I'm working into the corner of the calcaneus and then I gouge out. And we're going quite deep on Jace, giving him a real treatment. So we've got real reaction times up there, and yeah, he's
loving it. Oh,
he's also getting fixed at the same time.
Yeah.
There's no point in, being fluffy and soft. That's
no point tickling the feet.
No point tickling the feet. Exactly. If you've got a partner and they've got arch pain, give it a go. Attempt to put your thumb in there and mimic what I'm doing and just copy it. Look, you're not going to aggravate it. You're not going to make things worse. You're just going to hydrate the tissue. Who knows, you might be able to fix it. So there's a couple of good gouges just cleaning away this heel. Nice. So things like heel spurs, you're probably going to end up with pain actually around that heel. So that's probably not plantar fasciitis either. So if you've got pain around here, that's something different again. You can break those down. You can push into them and sort of break them off. Basically what it is it's just scar tissue that's built up around the bone, ending in little bone growths, osteophytes. So you can start to move those and break those down as well. And again, don't be scared of getting barefoot. Expose yourself to the grass. We also love things like grounding and earthing because of the benefits we get out of all of those things. First of all, reducing our inflammation in our body is a huge one. So if we've got high amounts of inflammation spiraling around our body, the first thing you can do is just try and get out of shoes half an hour a day on connecting to the earth. Will help lower things like stress levels. It'll increase healing phase. It'll decrease inflammation. All these types of things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wowza.
Yeah.
Oh, arching up.
Yeah, so I'm just starting to really do some gouges around that. What we can also do, moving on, we'd focus on that for quite some time, but we can also go into the insertion points here. So you can see this is how you stretch the plantar fascia, right? That's stretching it, pulling the toes back. I would soften it first so it's not as painful. If I was to stretch that, then push into it, it will intensify the pain. So I'll take the slack, pull the big toes back, and just start to clean around that big toe.
Yeah,
that
it's
knuckle.
nasty around that toe. Oh.
Yeah. So really just give that a bit of a go. You can do some active.
Oh, little clicks.
Yeah, nice little clicks in there and crunches. And it's good to just get these bones and joints moving. So just, start to move them a bit. Give them a little bit of a... There we go. Nice
Good
cracks
one.
in there. Just move them out. Shimmy them. Pull the toes. Whatever it might be. Spread the toes. More often than not, when we're in our shoes, we see our toes bunched up like this, especially pointy end toes like that. Get out of them. Take them off. Spread the toes. Expose the feet. You'll thank me later. It'll take some time to adjust. But if there's one thing, we've got time.
Yeah. Even just starting off, if you're someone that can't take your shoes off at work. But like a lot of people we know, or clients that come in, they'll take the shoes off when they get home, but then they'll put other shoes on. Like, if you're at home, just think, like, when you get through your door at home, take your shoes off and just try and be barefoot for when you're at home even. That's a starting point for you. And, yeah, it's something that you can sort of... And I've also had clients that have, I've got hardwood floor. But we say hardwood's actually a really good teacher because you can hear, they're like, it really hurts my feet. But if you actually tune into the sound of what it's like when you're walking around, you'll probably notice that it's a really loud, like you can hear yourself walking. And that's actually telling you that you're walking quite heavy and you're probably landing on your heel really hardly, and that could be something that's actually causing your plantar fasciitis or your pain. So actually tune into that noise and go, all right, how can I move around a bit quieter? And you start to spread your foot, you start to land a little bit more on the outside and more on your midfoot rather than just slamming around on your heels. So yeah, don't be afraid if you've got hardwood floors to actually test yourself out and try and be quieter when you're walking around. And that's something simple you can do at home.
It's a good point, Jace. Walk gracefully, walk with intention. Walk like a ninja. So when we see arch pain, it usually is associated with tight calves as well, right? So you're wearing shoes with a heel or shoes with padding and cushioning and foam. What that does is it puts our heel into a flex position, which means our calves are going to be short and tight all day. So we end up with, we're in a mini calf raise. Think of me being in heels. You come down there, Leo. I'm in a mini calf raise, right? Look at my calves.
All day.
From that, nice and neutral, to being in a mini calf raise, right? I'm up on my toes. So we end up with calf tightness. Our calf tightness may be what's causing some of the plantar fascia to be tight. So we work both. But what I like to do as well is come medial, right onto the inside of that tibia there, and just peel away some of these build-ups. So you start to feel little nooks and crannies and little trigger points in there, and I just like to clear them out, find...
Some people you feel those hard calcifications as well, like little nodules in there and little lumps and bumps, and yeah, that's all just those tissues that are sort of pulling away at the inside of that tibia. Yep. So, they're pretty bloody painful though. Oh,
there it is. Oh. All right, so just pinning that with a thumb. Doesn't have to be over. I was probably going a bit firm there. I backed it off a degree.
That's better.
And just pin and hold and just work it. Change angles.
Oh, the angle. Oh, that's coming up here.
Coming up there. It's probably related to more of Jason's hamstring than it is his calf or his foot. Fixing him other ways. But if you've got arch pain, have a go at this. Really good. Really good. Another, I didn't show you how to use my elbow. I always use my elbow with plantar fascia. I need to come back and revisit that. There's that same spot, pin. And for me as a practitioner, if you're a practitioner out there, it's so easy for me to just sit there balanced and pin and hold. Save your thumbs, right? So hold that. I can come down and work different angles and find exactly where the source of his suffering is coming from and just work it. So for me, pin that money spot.
And that actually feels even a bit more easier to handle than the thumb at some points. Like sometimes the thumb's really sharp and intense on one spot. This is painful, but it feels a bit broader, a bit more spread out, but it still feels like it's really hitting those spots.
Yep. I guess that's what it is. It's a broader surface. It's not as direct. So if you are in quite a high amount of pain, it is easier to just absorb a broader tool like an elbow. Look, we'd spend 15, 20, 25, whatever it is. How chronic is it? We need to spend a little bit more time in there. But the real issue is the weakness in the plantar fascia. So the weakness in the arch, the weakness in the ankle, the weakness in the foot. So now we're going to show you how to strengthen that. Jump up, Jace, and we'll go to it. So we've got these guys do a really good, they're called Fasciitis Fighters. If you guys want to check them out online. Throwing them on the floor. But what this is doing, and I'll show you how to use it if you don't have one of these, we can work around it. Jace, if you were to come over here, I want you to do a double foot. So what the idea is that his toes are an extension. Yeah, so toes are an extension, meaning that we're going to be working our plantar fascia. When we have a flat foot and we're doing calf raises, it's actually just working the calf. We need to extend that, as I showed you earlier on, Jace. That's going to be lighting up the plantar fascia. So go that same foot.
All the way on there.
What you're going to do is you're going to go up for 2, hold for 2, down for 2, and just rep out.
Up.
For 2, down. So hold for 2 at the top.
Oh, sorry.
Up. 1, 2, down, 1. Even slower, man. Up. 1, 2, 1, 2, down, 1, 2. A few more. Rep out.
1, 2.
Looks good. You feel that arch. After about 6 or 7, you'll really feel that arch. Keep going, man. Aim for 10.
1, 2.
Got to count in my head.
Yeah.
Well, timing's a little bit out. But
That's all good. Yeah. Show them a double foot, so you can work both of them.
Both on there?
Yeah, you can go both. Nice. So it doesn't matter if the couple of toes are coming off. You can get these that are a bit wider. Otherwise, Jace, you can use a towel. So all we need is toe extension, right? Roll the towel up. That's all I've done. And get some toe extension on that. So if it needs to be thicker, just double fold it over. But we make do, right? We don't have one of these at home. We make do with a towel. Everybody's got a face towel. Okay. Another cool thing to do, Jace, is come and stand on this crossways. So it's a bit of a balance. Yes.
That way?
That's it. Yep, that's it. And what you're trying to do is the wall's to your left, but without using the wall, you're trying to stand on it. And look at all the muscles that are activating as he's trying to balance on something that is uneven. Look at the ankle. Look at the tibialis anterior. The plantar fascia is getting lit up. The foot, the big toe, the arch, the heel. All these little intrinsic muscles are starting to work. When we're in shoes, when we don't expose ourselves to these types of uneven surfaces, we are doing ourselves a disservice. Yeah, our muscles are becoming dormant and weak. So really good. Try the other foot. Let's see if you're better on that one. But yeah, aim for like 30 seconds. Cool, nice,
Oh, it's
man.
working hard.
Working hard. You'll feel things like his hamstring, his calves, all these types of things working as we're trying to balance. But if you don't have one of these, get outside, go and walk on the edge of your garden bed. Go and walk on some rocks and stones.
Oh, there we go.
Go to the park, find something, a rock, whatever it is. Have a little play around. But otherwise, if you don't have the resources to get some treatment, you can use something like this. You can use a massage ball, and you can start to just roll out that plantar fascia. This is firm. This is nice and hard, okay? So just roll it out really slowly, find the angles, put more weight through it, and have a little bit of a play around with that one. Otherwise, we've got our MMT signature purple balls, and we can work that money spot there. We can come up onto the heel. We can sit down and play around with the calf.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, man? How's
Pretty
things
good.
feeling?
Oh, that feels so different on that right side to the left. So it just feels a lot more open through there. Even just that little bit of work. Like, yeah, as Darcy said, we probably could spend a whole session on it, depending on how chronic it is, working through that whole lower leg and foot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a sped up version, but it already feels so much freer through there.
Yep. Awesome, guys. Make sure you do like and subscribe. Head to Patreon for more exclusive content. Or if you want to become one of our practitioners and work for us or work in another country but practice our stuff, we do have a mentorship there in the link below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.